name is Alyssa.
And I'm Emily, and you're listening to Slash and Slay, a horror podcast.
Oh, hi, Emily.
Oh, hey, Alyssa.
Oh, hey. Literally long time no speak to you at all.
A very long time. Well, we saw each other once over this break.
We did. It's been...
a brief break.
Yes. It's been a wild ride the last month.
It sure has.
I guess it's been like rough. A month since...
It has been a month.
We recorded last.
There's been some highs. There's been some lows.
Yeah. There's been some...
And Christmas.
Ins and outs. Ups and downs.
Yeah. I think we've both been sick.
Mm-hmm.
We've both had Christmas, which is crazy enough.
We did.
It's insane.
Had family in, family out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're finally back.
And we're not even in person.
No, I'm sure you could tell that the audio sounds quite different.
Because
hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. I mean,
yeah.
I think mine's going to sound worse because you actually got the setup and I have nothing.
I do. I'm in my booth.
It's going to sound so good and then I'm going to be like, it's okay.
No.
I'm doing my best. Right now it's not even snow. It's just ice on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Sleet, if you will.
We couldn't risk dying on the road to get to perform this podcast.
As much as we love you guys, I want to keep my life.
Yeah.
Please.
Same. I feel rusty, like, honestly.
I know, I do too. I'm like, oh, hey, what are we
talking about? Honestly, I feel rusty talking to people in general.
Oh yeah, me too.
If you can't tell, my voice is still bad. It's been 2 weeks that I've had this, and my voice still sounds bad. I still sound very stuffy, so I'm so sorry that I sound like a nasally bitch.
It's okay. We'll forgive you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it feels like it's been so long, but also not. I don't know. Like, I literally kind of forgot that we had that. Like, not that I forgot about you guys, but like there was a moment today where I was actually looking at like a horror publisher to get like an advanced copy of a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why is everything so dark and black for horror stuff? I wish there was like horror stuff for girls. And I was like, wait.
Wait, I have a podcast that's literally that.
Do.
I know, we haven't really been active on Instagram either, y'all.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
I tried.
I know, and I appreciate that you did last week.
We just really needed a break.
Yeah, I think we did, and it kind of had to be forced on us a little bit, so.
Yeah, we really did not try to miss any. Is that what I'm saying that right?
Right. Yes.
We kept making plans to record, but then something would happen. And there was just no way around it, honestly. So
yeah, it was just so busy.
Okay.
It's all good.
It is all good now. We're back to it. Except, you know what? We were literally like, it doesn't matter. I'll trek through the snow. And then Alyssa was like, no, let's just do Zoom. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
I'm like,
sure.
Let's not trek, because it'd be you having to come to the...
Yeah. So it's dangerous.
And my road, like, no one's moved on my road.
It's very slick.
Yeah, so
very
just
icy.
Not worth it.
Mm-mm.
But guys,
I've just been.
Oh,
what?
You just been what?
So I've just been here all day working.
Yeah, me too,
cozy.
But not working. Sorry.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, guys.
It is. Happy MLK Day.
Honoring ML Slay.
ML Slay Day.
He slays.
We slay.
Anyway,
we slay MLK.
What were you saying?
I was going to say, guys, what's been going on? What's been going on out there in the horror world?
You know what? I had a horrifying weekend, that's for sure.
What happened?
It was one of those weekends that was just like a cursed weekend.
Uh-huh.
And I literally wrote it down in my journal because I was like, every single bad thing happened to me today, and this is horrifying that that happened to me. It was
Well,
crazy.
crack open your journal and read it for us. What
I could.
happened?
Do y'all want to know the bullet points of what happened to
I
me on
do.
Saturday? Okay, so Saturday. Let's just start off here. Today was a bad day. Everything went wrong. I'll list everything. I first had to explain how car chargers work for 15 minutes at Five Below to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost his StubHub tickets to a basketball game that they were going to that night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a 3 hour ordeal with customer
Mm.
service. Then my mom started baking cake pops and she decided she wants to sell them. And I was like, what?
My mom's gone
Like
through that phase.
she
My
just woke
mom.
up one Saturday
Mm-hmm. Is that like
and I was like,
a boomer mom
midlife
thing?
crisis.
I don't know.
I was like, you have to leave in 2 hours. Like, why are you doing this? And she was like, y'all can finish them up. So we had to do all of the cake pops for no reason. And then she wanted my brother to sell them at his homecoming dance that night.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no. And then I had to make white chicken chili, which I don't know how to do that. And it was just one of those things that she was like, and do this, and do this, and do this, and do this.
Cinderella.
And yeah, she was literally like, oh, and sell this Galaxy tablet on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, what? Like, why? Why does it have to be done today? Um, I was taking my brother to homecoming and he forgot his ticket halfway, so we had to go back, which was fine. But it was just like, another thing on
Right.
the of all these
Mm-hmm.
things that were happening, piling up. Then I went to my aunt's house, and as soon as I walked in, she was like talking to my sister, like, you need to stay home and do school from home to save money because look at your sister. She didn't, and now she's broke, and she is living at home because she can't afford to go to grad school. And I was like, oh,
Talking about you?
thank you. Yes. And I was like, okay, well, goodbye. Um, then I went to Barnes and Noble, and I was like, we're gonna have a
Mm-hmm.
good day. We're gonna have a good day
Right.
now. We're
This
gonna
is
have a
gonna
good day.
turn it around.
And I've got this book that I've been eyeing, and there's only one copy. And I was like walking around with it, reading it. It was like a horror book. And this guy just goes up and he was like, if you're not gonna buy that, can I please have it? And I was like, what? It was so weird. And I was like,
What?
I'm not, I was just like thinking about buying it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. It was so weird. So I was like, here you go. I just gave
You
it to
just
him.
gave it to him?
I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm gonna just leave. Like, this is not my day. Something bad's gonna happen if I don't just get out of
What?
here. It was so weird. And then we went to Target. We were like, we're gonna have a good day. It's gonna be fine. And then we got stalked by the MLM people again that
Oh my
always get us
gosh.
at Target. Always.
Yeah.
Somebody mansplained Target Circle to us. And I was like, I know how Target Circle works. And then we were finally like, okay, this is it. We are gonna have a good day. So let's get some Sonic. And then I spilt it all. My Sonic got everywhere.
In your car?
Mm-hmm. And then Torchy's was closed. And that
Oh
was
my
the end.
gosh. And that
It
was the
was,
last straw.
I was like, I need to go home right now. I need to
I'm
hibernate.
so sorry. That sounds horrifying.
I know that's like, I was just like, you know what? If this is the worst thing that happens to me today, that's okay. No one died.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. But it was just like, are you
It
kidding
was just
me?
like, what's her name? A no good, very bad day.
Yeah, Alexander's no good. That's what I
Alexander,
literally said. It
yeah.
was like that. It was literally like that.
Just one thing after the other. Well, I'm sorry
Then
that happened to you.
yesterday, I had to work for 3 hours on a Sunday.
On a Sunday? That
Yeah.
that is a horror movie.
Has anything horrifying happened to you?
um,
Sickness.
what? Sickness. I've just been
Sickness.
sick. And then my husband got sick. And today's his birthday, and he's sick.
Oh,
And he got a
Jared. Everyone
nosebleed.
say happy birthday.
Everyone say happy birthday to
Happy
Jared.
birthday, Jared.
He was in the last episode if you didn't listen.
I loved that episode. He was so
The
silly.
Krampus episode.
He's wrong, but he was silly.
I know, he's very wrong. But it took a lot to get him to do that. Actually, it didn't take that much. But when I first asked him, I was like expecting him to be like, "Oh yeah, I'd do anything for you."
As he
So I
should.
was like, so I asked him and he was like, "I don't know." He's like, "I don't think so." And I
What
was
do you
like,
mean you don't know?
"What?" So I got mad at him.
Good. As you
And
should.
then, but then I came back and I apologized. I said, "I'm sorry. I had an expectation and it wasn't met." And so it's like healthy communication, right? He was like, I'm going to do it. I was like, he's like, I just needed to process it. Like, process the fact that I was going to do it.
I love that healthy communication.
Yeah. So, and
Proud of
then he
you.
was great. He did a great job.
He did do a really great job. I love it.
So, there.
Um, we thought today's episode should just be a catch-up episode on kind of just wrapping up all the slash and slays at the end of the year.
Yes.
Yes. Um, I have my Goodreads open because I don't really remember
Remember
anything.
what you
I
read?
don't remember anything, to be honest, from the last month.
I've been reading a lot, but I have
Good for
not
you.
watched any, like, horror movies or anything.
I really don't think I have either.
None.
Not watched.
Honestly, I have slacked so much this year in watching horror movies.
Yeah, you have.
I haven't watched
It's
any of them.
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for someone who claims to love horror movies and who has a horror movie podcast. Yes. Oh! Sorry.
I'm embarrassed to be your friend.
You should be.
No, I'm kidding. Well, maybe I don't know. What horror movies did I watch this month?
This month?
I don't know. Books. Do you want to go back and forth on some books
Yeah.
since you have so many?
I have a lot.
I don't even remember the last. I think the Darcy Coates books are the last ones that we did.
Yeah, and I've read more of hers since then. I read a whole series of hers.
Is it the
Um,
winter one?
yes.
I want to read that. Do you have
Black
them?
Winter. I have all of them, so
Yippee!
you can
My
borrow.
problem was I wanted to read that one that had the little doll on the cover,
Yeah, the
but
first one.
that cover freaked me out and I didn't
Oh,
like
really?
it. I was like, I hate this cover.
It was a very interesting series. It wasn't quite what I expected. It ended up being very, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it ended up being very, like, apocalyptic.
Ooh, yes.
Like,
I
apocalyptic
know.
in winter. So, like, I think you'll like it. It made me sad when I was finished with it. Like, I moved on to another book that I'll talk about that is going in the literal trash. And I don't say that a lot about books because I like to give authors the benefit of the doubt. I know writing a book is hard, but anyways, I'll
This one,
get to
no.
it. But before I actually read the Black Winter series, I read a book called Brother by, let me check her name.
We're so bad at authors.
I just cannot remember. No, Brother. Horror book. Anaya. Uh, uh, Anaya. Anaya Ahiborn.
Okay.
Anaya Ahiborn.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very interesting book. It was very it was disturbing in a lot of ways. And the hero, the protagonist, was an anti-hero in a way, but also it was just really sad. Like it makes you think about if someone is kidnapped as a child and then brought into this family that literally teaches them to be like a murderer, teaches them, like, and that's like all they know.
That's freaky.
Like, it's like, how do you
I
how
hate
do you
that.
like, yeah, because it's like it's not their fault.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
They're
it was.
victim. I mean, it's kind of like, our girl Gypsy Rose is out and about now.
I do.
It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my generation specifically has very, glorified her and um, said, they say she slays, literally.
Yes,
And yeah, she's,
they do say that.
yeah. And I 1,000% agree that she is a victim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she should be a celebrity though. Like,
Right.
I think she should probably get back
She,
to her life.
yeah, I think she should go live her quiet life,
Hmm.
just healing from everything,
Yes.
and not being like
Yes.
in the spotlight doing TikToks. Um,
Yeah.
not
I mean,
doing
if
get
that's what
ready
she
with
wants
me
to
TikToks.
do, I guess, like, do you? However, I don't know. I think it's somewhat pandering, problematic in a way,
Yeah.
because it's like all her life, she's only known attention. And so now,
Mm-hmm.
not that that's a bad thing or anything, but I think
I mean, I think
she
it
has
could
some
be.
working through. Yeah, I think she needs to work through some things.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is
But
kind of
she's
like
got
that.
to get
You're
her
like,
bag somehow too.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, it's like if you were raised to be a murderer,
Mm-hmm.
is that your fault or not? Yeah.
Right. But it was really sad. But I mean, it kept me going.
Yeah.
Kept me reading. So I slay it.
Slay.
Slay. What's your slay or slash?
I finished rereading all the Hunger Games.
Yes.
I finished the last one on my trip to Florida, and I took a video of me reacting to like the final really big death that we all
Mm-hmm.
hate and
Mm-hmm.
wish never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny. But obviously they're a sleigh, and they like scratch a part of my brain that just, I don't know, it's nostalgic. It's actually
Yeah.
written very well still. The
It's a
characters are
good
amazing.
story.
Such a good
It's
story. And everybody's so real, I feel like.
yeah.
And it doesn't really glorify either side, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Both sides are
Mm-hmm.
bad. And it also doesn't glorify war or, I don't know, it's very real,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. So I slay all four of them.
Slay all day.
Please just give us a Finnick or Hamish backstory. Please,
Please.
please, please. I would do anything.
Please. Please. I saw
But
this.
it
There's
also
a
got
tick.
me. Go ahead.
Oh. I was just gonna say there's a TikTok of like I saw where someone had made a short film that was like kind of based on Hamish's story or something. I didn't
Ooh.
watch it. I didn't watch it, but I remember there was one a lot like, back when they were coming out. A Finnick. It was like Finnick and Annie. It was like story, and I remember like really being like, oh, like this is real. This is so real to me. This is canon. Like
Ah,
I want to find it. I'll send it to you.
yeah, you need to find it. Then it'll put me in a
It's
spiral.
probably not as good as I like.
Did you remember?
This is
Yeah.
back then. It's probably like, oh wait, this is trash, but it's like
Like a
fanfic.
Hollywood show needs to do it.
Oh my gosh,
They
yeah.
would do it good.
Oh yeah.
A musical. What's your next one?
Well, the Black Winter series. I really liked the
Mhm.
first book. The second book. So the second, I really like the second book. The third book, I struggled a little bit with, but I also don't know because I was like, I got it right before I got sick, and
Mhm.
so and like I couldn't read
Your
for three
brain.
days. Yeah, so it could be kind of that, but then I really enjoyed the fourth book as well. So I slay all of those.
Yay, Darcy.
Did you ever read From Below?
I was gonna start it today, but now that you told me about those other ones, I think I want to read that one instead.
Okay.
From Below might have to be a summer book. Would that be a
Mm.
better summer book?
It's still kind of in winter, so
Oh, okay.
I feel like
I'll
you
just
should
read it
still
right
read
after
it.
then. Okay, okay. But I am in like knee deep, as you will see from the things I've read. I
Mm-hmm.
am like apocalyptic.
Okay.
I want the apocalypse.
You're ready for
Which
it.
brings me to my next book, which I read in one day because I just could not put it down. And thankfully, I had a flight. I was at the airport for a long time, and I downloaded it right
Sir.
before I got on the airplane. And I was just like
Mm-hmm.
locked in the whole time. And that is Josh Malerman's Bird Box.
Really?
Yes, it was so
Hmm.
good. And I've seen the movie,
Yeah.
but it's been so long that I don't really remember what happened or
Remember all
anything.
the details. Yeah.
So I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And I don't know, it was just such a unique concept that I think he
Right.
does very well. I mean, it's very similar to A Quiet Place.
Yeah. Just with eyes.
Yeah, instead of
But it came
hearing.
out before A Quiet Place.
Hmm. I don't remember when the book was
Are you
published.
gonna
Have you
read the
read it?
second one?
I think I will. Mallory.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes place like 12 years after.
Yeah. I don't know if I will read it. I haven't read it. I don't know if I
You haven't
will.
read Birdman?
Mm-mm. I like him. I mean, his story was my favorite in the creature feature,
Mm-hmm.
and hit. I feel like a weird connection, even though this is like, um, not. Are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, it says we only have 10 minutes left,
I know. Why does it say that?
so we might have to restart the
Okay, we'll
Zoom.
pause and restart.
Yeah, once it runs out.
Okay.
Um, I feel like I have a weird connection to him, and it's not really at all, but like his agent was like when I was um querying my book, his agent was like my number one agent that I wanted, and
Mm-hmm.
I sent out my book to her, and obviously she didn't pick it, but she did get back to me. She wrote me personally, and she
That's
said
good.
that she had like put it to the side to to reread and stuff, and that, and obviously she didn't pick me at the time, but I was like, whatever. Like she
Yeah.
actually like personally responded to me and wasn't just like a blank slate
Yeah.
email. She like read it multiple times. She like really considered it. So every time I'm like Josh Mallerman, I'm like his agent.
That's what you think of.
I'm like, I know his agent, even though I
Yeah.
don't at all. But
You've spoken to her. That's
I've
good.
spoken to her via email, and she
Hmm.
almost maybe
So you
considered
know
taking
Josh
my book
Malerman.
on. Exactly. Exactly.
I didn't think I would like it,
Yeah.
but I was like, I needed something like the Hunger Games, and I was like, I need
Mhm.
something adult apocalyptic like right now because if
Yeah.
I knew if I would do another YA, like the YA, the Hunger Games could have been adult easily.
Yeah. It's almost
So
like in Hunger Games, they're in so many ways like forced to grow up, so it's like they seem older than they are.
yeah, I think the only thing that would make it adult is if they like put cursing in it or something, because that's
Mhm.
pretty much, I mean, with Bird Box, it was the same amount of gory, I feel like,
Yeah.
same very descriptive of injuries.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I really, really enjoyed it. I don't really know what it was about it, but that's not a very good review. But I think I was just
Something
like, I have
about
to know
it.
what happens, even though I know what happened. I just
Yeah.
forgot a lot, so it was really nice to do that. And it's like, I don't know, it just reminds me of female version of The Road a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's why I liked it too, because I love that book.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Hmm.
Um One thing I find interesting about Darcy Coates's books is that she doesn't have like any mention of sex at all
Hmm.
in her books. Um, which is interesting because there is like some of her books that have like romantic elements to it, but it's not like, oh, I wish there was like sex in this book. No.
Yeah, we know you. We know you just
We know me and
love
I
to
don't.
read about it.
Right. Or see it. But
Hmm.
but there was it's like I don't want to give anything away on this new series.
Well, she could have put something in, but she didn't.
Yeah, to me it was like, but there was not even like a thought of it. Like there was
Mm.
not even a thought. And to me I'm like that was the only thing I was like that's in some ways not realistic. Like even going
Okay.
through all of this like and being in this like situation where you're like trying to survive,
Yeah.
like if you are attracted to this person, if you and you've mentioned that you are like the thought didn't even ever occur to you once,
Mm.
like, and so that was
Interesting.
it was interesting. Like I kept noticing it because there was, and I probably wouldn't have thought of it, but there would be certain like moments where I was like, I feel like they would have this thought here, like
Yeah.
even if it's a thought, it's like yeah, it's not gonna happen. Like it would still be a thought. So
Mm.
that was like maybe my only, just
If
because like
you're
it
thinking
wasn't.
that, then it must have
I
been like,
know, like it just like this isn't fully realistic
yeah.
in this way, but it at the same time it didn't like necessarily take anything away,
Hmm.
or I
It
don't
just
think
made them a
adding a
little less.
scene would have added anything necessarily. Anyways, it
No,
was just
just the
interesting.
thoughts. Yeah.
I
Interesting.
don't think I've read a book like that, honestly.
I guess
Besides,
Dead of
like,
Winter, there was no
right.
chance for them to do. So I guess I never,
Yeah,
you know.
I know. In
Mm.
all her other books, there really is no chance. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I'm ready to read that. I think we're going to download it now because I
Yes.
just finished a book today, this morning.
Ooh, I finished a book last night.
I think it's your turn.
Okay, hold on.
Cough and spit.
As I die.
Don't die.
Okay. Um, I read another book of hers called Hunted,
Oh, I saw that one yesterday at Barnes& and Noble.
and it wasn't my favorite, but it was still so good. The twist was very good. I was not expecting the twist at all, and I like that because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've guessed all of her other twists, but
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the twist in it, and yeah,
Not your
that's
favorite,
all.
but
Not my
you
favorite,
enjoyed
but
the twist.
I still enjoyed reading it. Yeah.
What was the premise?
The premise is that a girl goes missing in the woods, and all that's like left of her is her camera, and it picks up this like kind of weird shape, um, and her brother and their friends go to try and find her in the woods,
Mm.
basically
Did they find
trying
her
to.
camera?
Well, her camera's found by someone else and turned into the
Oh, got
police.
you. Gotcha.
And so they're kind of like they're trying to work with the police, but the police aren't really being like helpful. And there's like a
As usual.
detective. Yeah, there's a detective who's also kind of trying to solve it, but she's kind of a little absent-minded about it.
Mm.
So it's
Okay.
good.
I mean, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Um, the next book I read was also a detective novel. I mean, I guess I don't know if you could call yours detective novel, but there was a detective.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is The Snowman by Joe Nesbo.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever read any of his?
Did they turn that into a movie, The Snowman?
Maybe. I
I
don't
haven't
know.
read any by him, but I
What's
feel
the
like they
movie
turned
about?
it. What movie about?
What movie about?
What movie about? um, I don't know. Like
The Snowman.
honestly, there's a detective.
Um,
There's like a serial killer maybe,
oh, okay, yeah.
and
So
they
maybe they did.
they leave snowmen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. I didn't
has
know it was a
like
movie.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
I think so.
Interesting. It is translated, which I read two translated fictions this month, actually. I
Wow.
think both from Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was good. It was very long. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, and it was
Like
very
every.
confusing because they all have very
Oh.
Swedish names.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wait, who's that again? And it was
Yeah.
also very gruesome because it's like real
Mm-hmm.
life, and you're like, that is awful. I can't believe somebody would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of guessed the twist. It kind of was just like a very, very long episode of Dexter, to be honest.
Okay.
But he wasn't like fun like Dexter. He was like alcoholic and
Yeah.
he was a good guy, but he's like alcoholic and
Mm-hmm.
troubled, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was good. I don't know if I'll ever continue this was like the seventh in his specific series, but I don't know if I'll
Mm-hmm.
read anymore. But it was still
Yeah.
good, enjoyable.
Well, good. So you slay.
I say.
Good. Yay for slay.
You're next.
So, so the black, the Black Winter series was 4 books, and they're
Oh
pretty
my
thick.
gosh.
So I read all those. So
Hmm.
the book that I just finished last night is a book called The Island. Um, and I don't know the author, and I don't care to.
The one you're gonna throw in the trash?
Yes. Okay. This book, it it had like the reason I chose it was, well, for one, it was like I like the cover is like an island with like an amusement park on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It was like six influencers get sent to this island to this new amazing resort and amusement park to test it out, and then um you know do a review on it, essentially, which I'm like,
Interesting.
and then like it's like, but they won't make it off alive or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, ooh, like that's like everything I love.
Yeah.
From the get-go I knew I wasn't gonna like it, because it does this thing, we've talked about this in books, that it dates the book because they're using so many pop culture references.
Yeah.
And so many, I mean, they're influencers, but I feel like you could still
I
have
don't think you have to
influencers
do
without
that. Yeah.
even naming TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah. And
Maybe
they
you
did.
could name YouTube, but yeah, they named TikTok, they named like shows. They did it less towards the end, but in the beginning it was like, saying
Oh,
the
yeah.
this goes better together than Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Like,
Oh my
like,
God.
shoot me.
Yeah, no.
Just so bad. So bad. So I was already like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then, like, the characters, like the influencers, were very, like, one note.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which, like, it's fine if they're archetypes. Like, that's completely fine. You're going into it, but then they develop into more.
Yeah.
But
There was no developing.
there was no developing. There was, the beauty guru who's like
Mm-hmm.
a brat the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There's the video gamer.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a movie reviewer, a gay beauty guru,
Mm-hmm.
and then a book talker, and then the main girl who's like a crime junkie or
True crime
whatever.
TikTok. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
That's
like,
stupid.
it's like it could have worked,
Yeah.
but and then it was like the dialogue was a lot of just like exposition. Um there was a lot of dialogue, and it was like, what are we going to do? I don't know. We need a plan. Like a lot. It was a lot of stuff like that. And it would be like they would make a plan, and then a group would like two of them would go off and be like, we need another plan. Like it was just like it was
What?
all over the place. And um it was so basically like this, they're enjoying the park or whatever, and then one of the gay beauty guru goes missing, and he ends up dead. They find him, he's dead. So they realize there's a a killer on that island, and they've like done like cell jamming so they can't get anything out, and
Hmm.
so they're basically running around the island trying to, I don't know what they're
God,
doing
I
at
don't
certain
know.
points when they're running around the island. Like, what are you doing? And they can't, like, they kind of keep getting picked off one by one. And in the end, like, oh, and the main girl would be like, they're in, in this dire situation, and one of the cute guys would smile at her, and she'd be like, "Stop thinking about a crush right now."
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
oh my god, it drove me nuts. She'd be like, like both of these guys are like in the middle of all this stuff happening. Both of these guys are flirting with me. I don't really know what that means, but I can't think about that right now. Like, it's like, what is happening? There was no tension. Like, it was so bad. And then the ending. So like, I'll just tell you because I
I
wouldn't
won't
even
read
let
it.
you read this. um, the ending was that it gets complicated, but they're like the gamer influencer was like the nephew of the guy who owned the island, and he was mad because he like took all of his mom's money.
Okay.
So, but then he also killed his mom on the.
What?
So, but the whole time he's one of the ones that's like she thought was cute. The main girl thought was cute,
Oh.
and he was like like being helpful and stuff. And then it was just like him, and I was like, how was it even him? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then at the very end, like a bunch of people have died, and there's a boat coming to rescue them, and he's like, yeah, but it wasn't just me. And it turned out it was the book talker
What?
too, who had also been like the main girl's like good friend, like from the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Like, there was not a single ounce that anything was off with her the whole
The
time.
heck?
And it was like, yeah, and I'm a killer too. Like, she ended up stabbing this guy. So it was just like, I
What?
was like, are you kidding me? And then the kicker, okay? Um, so I was like, okay, this is horrible. This sucks. I hate it. But it's gonna, like, the boat came to rescue them, and she had like the main girl had stabbed the book talker, so she was dead. So I
Okay.
was like, okay. And the gamer was like attending to her, so they were running toward her, and this other guy was running toward the boat, and they're trying to tell the people like, um, oh, this is what happened, and they were gonna get on the boat, and I was like, okay, it's gonna wrap up. They're gonna tell me why. It ends with it saying, then someone grabbed me from behind, and the last thing I saw was Reeve, this guy's horrified expression as I was pulled underwater by Liam, and that's how it ends. I was like,
What?
how did this get through an editor and like approved? Like, it was the worst thing. I literally read it, and like I turned the page and it was like acknowledgments. I was like, are are you kidding me? I had to endure all that, and I didn't even get like a nice wrapped up ending. I was so
So
mad.
that's not a cliffhanger.
No,
That is a drop off.
it's a drop off for no reason. Like, so am I supposed
What?
to assume she died? Like, it
What's that even like? What? I don't. What does that add?
I literal
Is there a
trash.
sequel?
No,
What?
unless there is supposed to be one coming out, but it didn't say anything. Which usually,
That's
like,
insane.
when there is a sequel,
Yeah,
it'll be like,
coming
so
in wherever. Okay, well, we're
mm,
throwing that in the trash. We hate it. Slash, slash,
trash,
slash.
trash.
Worse than a slash. It's absolute
Yes,
trash.
exactly.
The next book I read is not really horror, but it was like a thriller, mystery,
Mhm.
and it also ended on a drop off, I think,
Mhm.
not even a cliffhanger. But it was very interesting. I've never read a book like that before. It broke like the fourth wall a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
it would like tell the story, and it was like stereotypical. It was very much like Knives Out. Like all these rich people were there.
Yeah.
They all have bad blood between each other, and then this detective's there, and no one knows why. And so, people start dying, and he's like, "What's going on?" Um, anyway, and then they'll be telling the story, and he'll be talking to people, and then the author will literally be like, "Okay, now here are the clues that you need to pay attention to." And he'll like
Uh-huh.
break the fourth wall and be like, "Pay attention to this. This is the time when you're gonna, try to figure this out."
Yeah.
Or he'll like give some like historical context
Uh-huh.
with like mystery novels. Like he talked a lot about Agatha Christie and stuff. It was really cool. And then the last chapter is actually from like you are the character and you're talking. Like it's like
Uh-huh.
reader and you're like solving the whole case.
Uh-huh.
And then the end, when you're about to find out the last like murder or whatever, the author's like, well, actually, I killed him because I'm the author and I killed all these people because I wrote it. And I was like,
Oh
oh
my
my gosh.
God.
Like it kind of made sense with the book and like I
Yeah,
enjoyed it,
with
but it
the
was still
style
like,
of it.
aha, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting. It was kind of just like a love letter to mystery books, I
Yeah.
feel like.
What could be done
Um,
well,
yeah,
stuff
I
like
think it
that.
was. Yeah,
What's it
I
called?
think it was. West Heart Kill.
West Heart Kill. Is it like older
Yes.
or?
It came out this year.
Oh, nice.
Or I 2023.
Yeah.
But do you have another one?
I don't. I have one that I'm about to start called. Oh, by the way, the island one, I did get it from Walmart in like the $10 section.
Okay. So why'd
So
you?
they could explain it.
Yeah.
Because I don't
Uh-huh.
think I've ever seen this author in like Barnes and Noble or like,
Okay. Yeah.
so
There you
could
go.
explain it a little bit. Um, but I got another one from the same section, so I'm hoping this one's better. It's called Don't Go to Sleep,
Okay.
and it's by Bryce Moore, I think. And um, it's also kind of about a serial killer who's like an axe murderer who
Ooh.
kills people in their sleep. So we'll
It's like
see.
New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um, well, I have one more. It was the book I finished this
Mm-hmm.
morning.
Yes.
It's actually an arc that I have been waiting for 3 years, like
Mm-hmm.
for this sequel. I am so excited. Um, it was the sequel to Moon of the Crusted Snow,
Uh huh.
which I think I've talked about before. It was this group of Native Americans on a reservation in
Mm-hmm.
Canada, very remote location. They get their food like brought into them once a month, and basically the apocalypse happens, but they like don't realize it because they're
Right.
like, oh, our power goes off all the time. Oh, we never get self signal anyway.
Yeah.
And then they realize like, oh, like no food's coming, and these people are coming and telling us that weird stuff's happening. And so at the end of book one, have decided to leave the reservation and go and find another place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And his like the whole themes of these stories are very like the migration of Native Americans being forced out of their
Yeah.
homes continuously throughout history,
Right.
and their resilience and their how they've tried to be modernized. Like we have tried to modernize them, and they're struggling to like keep learning the same language, and so it's all part of that as well. But then the second one, I think it's already out in Canada, but the second one is called Moon of the Turning Leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I said the author. It's Wabsheg Rice. Um,
What are you talking
and
about?
yeah, yeah,
Talking about them.
yeah. And so this one takes place 12 years after, and they've been on this land and they've been surviving, and there's about 50 of them, but they are realizing that like the animals are kind of getting thin, the fish
Mm-hmm.
aren't as bountiful, the land isn't being as profitable, so they end up taking like a trip to try and find their actual homeland, like where their whole ancestors are from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like from, I guess, from West Canada all the way down to like where the Dakotas are above
Mm-hmm.
there. So, but yeah, it was really good. And I finished it this morning and I cried like a baby several times.
Mm-hmm.
it's just like he's such a very descriptive author. Like everything is so you feel like you're there. Like the way he
Yeah.
describes nature is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I loved
I
it.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, yay.
Yay.
Yay, our
We're caught up
books.
on that.
Caught
That
up
took
on
forever.
books.
And movies, none.
None.
No horror movies, that's for sure.
No, none. I don't even think
That's
I've
for sure.
watched, like, really any, like, new movies at
I
all.
watched a few new ones in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Beekeeper,
Mm-hmm.
which is that one with Josh Hutcherson
Yeah.
in it. It was good. It was a good action movie. And then I watched Origin, which hasn't come out yet, but it was a like an advanced screening
Mm-hmm.
of and it's about the girl who wrote I can't remember what the book was called, but it's about an author and she wrote a book about how basically her theory is that people aren't necessarily racist, that we're casteist, and we put everybody in castes because she investigated like the caste system in India, even though they're all the same
Hmm.
color skin, and
Yeah.
the caste system within like the Nazi party.
Mm-hmm.
And she like talked about how the Nazis modeled some of their laws after the Jim Crow laws, and
Uh-huh.
so it was really good. But she also had like a very sad life, so it was really sad, but it
Yeah.
was good. I feel like I saw another one in theater in movies, but I
In
don't know.
movies.
I did see that Sydney Sweeney rom com.
Oh, yeah. Was it good? It was
No, it was
bad.
fun. It was
I
a rom
heard,
com.
like, I've heard people, like, were hating on it before it came out, and then people saw it and were like, oh, it was actually good.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just a rom com.
Yeah, typical.
Typical.
Sepacol.
Um, guys, what should we do
Guys, what should we do? Please
for next
tell
week?
us.
We need to be better about watching movies this
Yeah,
year.
you mean I do. You've seen them all, so don't
No,
even
I do
act.
not.
Don't even
Towards
act.
the later part of the year. I'm sorry, I will not be seeing Night Swim though. Maybe we should just to like,
Just cause to say we had did.
yeah, it'll probably come on
I
streaming
just
soon.
I think my problem is like actually going to the movies. Like
Mm.
if it came straight to me, I'd watch it. But like going
What
to
if
the
I pick you
movies,
up and drive you?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, I'll do that. You know, I have to go because I have to get my money's worth.
Right, you do.
AMC subs. One day we'll get sponsored by them.
Yes, and then I'll be able to go to the movies
Yes.
for real.
Yeah, it does get expensive if you go and you don't have the subs. And I always go at least twice a month, and so it already
Mhm.
makes up for it.
Right.
So, but anyway,
Well, well,
what
guys,
other new ones are
I wish we
coming?
could say that we had like this great grand podcast
Revival.
year planned for you. But, you know, we're
We're
still
just
doing the
girls,
thing. We're just girls.
and
We
we're still doing the
will
thing.
we will start something and never finish it.
Hey,
Just
I
kidding.
I was worried. I was like, is it going to be hard to like go back and start doing this? It's
Uh-huh.
not because
It's not.
you're my best friend and
Oh,
I
you're my best friend.
enjoy doing this with you.
I know.
Mwah. From far away over the snow.
I know. I enjoy it too. And I I just gotta get my brain working again. That's
Yeah,
really
me
it.
too.
So
We're gonna have a good episode for you. This was a good episode. This is not a bad
we're
episode, guys.
this isn't bad, I promise.
This is good
If
for
you're
people
still
that aren't
listening.
readers, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
also, I'm just gonna give a shout out to Karis.
Okay.
She is a reader now.
We love that.
In November of 2023, she had never finished more than
A
like two
book.
books in her life.
Wow.
And now she read all the Hunger Games, all the Divergent. She's on the ACOTAR series. She read a hockey romance, and she got a
Okay.
Kindle. And I'm just so happy that she's
I
joining the
love that.
reader club. I know.
I love when people start reading and realize how amazing it is.
I know. Because she was literally like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, I've been telling
I'm
you
like, I
for
promise I
years
did, girl.
that this will solve all your problems.
It really does, man.
It really does. Well, guys, Stay warm, stay happy, stay safe, stay spooky, stay
Stay
slashing and slaying,
loved. Yeah,
stay
stay all those
loved.
things. You can follow us on Instagram. We will be back up there posting
Yes,
soon.
I promise.
At slashandslaypod.
And on TikTok at slashandslaypod.
Mm-hmm. And we still have our merch out.
And we still have our
So
merch. I
I'm gonna go get
completely forgot
that.
to buy the Krampus sweatshirt, but I still want it, so
I did too, but it's still there, so you can still buy it.
we can still get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody better buy it with me. We can match. Krampus is my boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
That was me snapping. Okay, guys. You know what? We love you.
We love you.
Love you. We'll talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Bye.